Hello and welcome along to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. We're back at Villa Park for another Champions League game. Aston Villa bidding to make it a perfect 9 points from 9 so far. 2 wins already in the bank away at Young Boys. And of course, that infamous success against Bayern Munich here a couple of weeks ago. This time around, it's Italian side Bologna who come to Villa Park. My name is Tracey and alongside me, Alan McInally, back for more again. Hopefully we get the same atmosphere.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully. I mean, it would be difficult to beat the atmosphere at Bayern. It was just astounding. It was unbelievable. Right till the very end, and of course we had a rather infamous victory. It was just unbelievable. Tonight is different. It's a different... The whole atmosphere may be different. You know, the end game is still about getting us 3 points. And I can't make my mind up if the gaffer's going to make any changes. Because if he stays strong, we'd managed to get the win tonight, 9 points out of 9 points. It's an awful strong position to be in, Kate.
And just on the competition so far, because of course there was a potential banana skin against Young Boys on the artificial surface that we talked about previously. But then there was a limited expectation, I dare to say, against Bayern Munich there last time around. So to defy those odds on the biggest stage of all, that must give Villa no end of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. There is nothing better in football than winning games. I mean, genuinely. And playing out here in front of a big crowd, it gives you certainly that impetus to go ahead. Every time I hear the manager speaking, though, he doesn't play down the Champions League, but he kind of draws it in a little bit because he's so defiant in talking about our domestic form. We've gone to London at the weekend. Delighted they had the man sent off. We're back here with 3 points. We look forward to the Champions League again. But he's still just keeping the dampener on everything. But I mean, imagine to the lads he's saying, hey, come on, let's go again. This is Champions League. Let's make sure we get 9 points out of 9. They are the draw kings in Italy. I think they've had 6 or 7 draws, something like that. 6 draws. And I think it was only Napoli that beat them, and they beat them pretty resoundingly, 3-0, having said that. You'll be lucky if there's 9 men behind the goalie and 1 guy up front trying to keep the ball. But it'll be a different way for us to play tonight, and I expect us to have lots of possession, which means we will have to be patient. But never mind, to answer your question properly, naturally the emphasis on the experience we have, but not only that, with us going forward, having won on Saturday, having played the way we've played in the Champions League, we're in such a super position, we really are. I wish I was playing tonight. So, honestly,
I get the impression, to be fair, let you at it. Give you a pair of shin pads right now and you'll be out there.
The pitch is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, honestly, to be a football player, playing that tonight at Villa Park, just absolutely astounding.
And ready to welcome the atmosphere, of course, as well then, and all of a show that comes with it, and can't wait to see all of that. But just in case you need reminding about the Bayern Munich game, that infamous night, of course, here's a chance to reminisce.
Offside. Back we go to 0-0. He did a great save. Tracey, little 1-2, and this is dangerous for Aston. Musiala, shots blocked out behind corner to Bayern Munich. The call has gone up for John Durant. Incredible! It's absolutely incredible! What a season John Durant is having, and what a goal he's just scored for Aston Villa in the Champions League! Every great save from point blank range from Martinez.
Very happy for our supporters, for Aston Villa, in everything. The moment I want to live, and really I can enjoy when I can have days like tonight.
Welcome back. Now, Ian Taylor has joined us. Great to have you here. And just in time to talk over the arrival shots. These are live shots and of Aston Villa arriving. So as long as you've got your breath back, how are you first and foremost? And also, how much are you looking forward to this?
Very well, very well. Looking forward to the game again, another European night at Villa Park. But
were you on the bus, by the way?
Yeah, maybe that's why.
I wish I had been. I wish I had been, mate.
Yeah.
But no, it's all new, isn't it? All the arrival stuff and everything, and I think it's fantastic for the fans. But it's another difficult night for us, I think. I think Bologna won't be any slouches, and I think it'll be a tough night, but I think we might come through it.
And in terms of the atmosphere, we've already spoken about it, how electric it was against Bayern. Of course, you were here as well to witness that. It's tricky to replicate something of that magnitude, but at the same time, we talk about the fans, Villa Park, the fortress that it is. You hope that we're going to get something similar.
Yeah, I think the United game straight after it didn't do us any favours, did it? No. I think it was a bit of a damp squib, but I pretty much, like a lot of people, expected that. It was a hard act to follow, wasn't it, Bayern? But we've soon bounced back after that with abundance. So I think tonight, I think he might make a couple of changes. But we'll see. We'll wait and see what the side's going to be. But I think there'll be a couple.
I just
of
said to
legs.
Kate, I can't make my mind up because obviously we don't know. I can't make my mind up. If you and I were manager, assistant manager, which is obviously you're the assistant manager,
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
do we like 3 games, got a chance of 9 points? Do we make a change, or because we can't? It's the Champions League. We have to give Bologna as much respect as you want. Yeah. You know, so you know, you're saying you might make changes. I'm thinking I don't know. I mean, I'd love to second guess the gaffer.
I think the manager's said in public, hasn't he, that he's going to assess each player.
Correct.
And see how they feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is down to that, and managers ask the players how
so hang
they
on.
feel.
You and I have just gone to London. We've beat Fulham.
Oh, you want to play?
Well,
I know what you're going to say.
He
turns to me and says, "Big man,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the night off." I'd be like,
You'll be like, no.
What?
You'll want to play. All players, they want to play every single game, and sometimes it has to be down to the manager's decision. But yeah, you ask any player, they want to play.
And that's going to be interesting to see. Of course, we don't know the team news at present. We're going to have that live then for viewers as soon as we get it through. But I did hear something actually in the week that someone had said, well, did we perhaps drop points against Ipswich and Man United because of the Bayern game, because of all the hype that goes with that, which perhaps shows how tricky it can be to balance these massive nights in terms of the Champions League against the domestic front?
Well, this is the thing. Every game's a tough game. It doesn't matter whether it's Premier League, European Cup. It doesn't matter. They're all tough. And the art of managing these days now is managing the squad and managing players, seeing how they feel, putting the right players in, taking the right players out. It's so much more these days, isn't it, management? And
I think you have to recognise as well as a player, you know, you've just spoken about 2 results there, Ipswich and Manchester United. There's, what is it, 6 subs we can have? I think you can use 5 or whatever it is. That's the kind of game now. You know, after 70 minutes, the team can almost look completely different for a manager. And I think that's part of a modern day football player. You have to kind of go with that and know that you're not going to play 90 minutes every time. If you get injured, you might come off. You might be sacrificed in terms of the manager wants to do this now and we want to tweak this particular thing. So that's kind of something you've got to do. But those 2 results I was okay with. I was a bit disappointed here. I thought Man United were here for the taking.
I think that was the general consensus.
I didn't think they were particularly good either.
Yeah, they were there for the taking. It was one of those occasions where all the fans that were here, what a great opportunity it was to get one back on Man United, because they usually turn us over.
Ten Hag was seen running up the M6. He didn't even get on the bus. He was that delighted with the point, because simply we've come off the game against Bayern. Man United need to get something. They've just been turned over the previous week. And they're obviously under a little pressure. Listen, we're in a fabulous place right now. We've taken that, and I was trying to say, the manager speaks about the domestic situation for us all the time. He tries to not play down the Champions League, but he's loath to speak about it and remind everybody the reason the Champions League is here at the moment and the reason it might be there for us next year is our domestic form. And we've just come off a wonderful result against Fulham. That's what we have to take into tonight.
The confidence completely teed up. Well, we will learn more about that team news in just a moment. We will be bringing you that live in just a few.
Hey, geezer.
All right, Oz.
Let's play? Villa Park.
As long as I'm left wing.
Please, Lord, just let me play for the Villa.
Pass. Who knows high line practice? To your right. Go to the right. Hold the line, Rob.
Uno, I've got this. I'm ready to play.
Who's that?
Do you want me through the middle or on the left?
Sharon! Have you seen my Preds?
Number 11, the Prince of Darkness.
Who's that? The biggest frontman to ever come out of Birmingham.
This is the Emmy Martinez Masterclass.
We go all the way next time. Up the Villa!
The Villa.
Up the Villa! Up the Villa!
The Villa.
Up the Villa! Up the Villa! Up the Villa!
Aston Villa, after 13 years away, return to European football.
Come on, we've got our games to play.
Leo Bailey for Aston Villa. Again, it's 1-0. Still walking. Oh, what a finish. What a fantastic finish.
Oi! Go and play up your own end.
Come on, love. Leave him alone.
Welcome back, as Ian is getting his photo taken and always ready for a photo opportunity as well.
Get his makeup on, that's
exactly. To be fair, when you wear a blazer like that, it warrants having a photo taken of it, unlike Mr. McInally over here. Right, lads, back to the football and on to Bologna as well. Now, because of course lots of viewers and people turning up today may not know a whole lot about Bologna so far, but Alan, you said earlier on, they've been the draw kings so far this season. Yep. 6 of their 8 games in Serie A have been draws.
Which kind of tells you that they're hard to score against, obviously. There was one team really turned them over easy. Napoli beat them 3-0, could have been 5 or 6. But even Ian and I just talking there, I mean, Champions League, you have to respect everybody. We played in Europe and you just cannot have the attitude that we'll turn them over. It just doesn't work like that. And I suppose 12th in the Italian league, you know, they're not pulling up trees or anything like that. And Vincenzo Italiano is a decent manager, but he's not been touted for any of the big jobs. But it's still a Champions League game. 1 loss, 1 win, 6 draws. They'll come here. I've already been laughing about it. They'll have 9 players behind the goalkeeper, 1 up top, and they'll try and hit us on the break. So we'll have to. It's one where when we have the ball, whether it's a 4, a 3, a 1 or a 10 at the back, they will have to be tuned in all the time, just in case we miss it, just in case we give the ball away and they hit us on the break. Yeah. Remember, they're coming in here thinking, what a result this would be if we could kickstart.
And that's the thing, you know, we've earned that respect now.
Correct.
Teams coming to Villa Park, they're going to be frightened. They're going to be scared of us, and they're going to park the bus, like Macca says, and it's going to be difficult. But they will want to hit us on the break. They will want to try and get a goal because they've got 1 point, haven't they?
Right,
so they're going to be looking for
We're going to
points.
get sprayed, Asma, just to give you a heads up, so you won't. Live TV for you is exactly what we've had. So, trust me to be the only one to stay as the 2 men depart the stage.
And you've got more hair than both of us.
Exactly. More reason for it to frizz. Right. Hopefully the sprinkler won't come
By
back
the way,
again
and I'm being serious. I said to the groundsman about 5 minutes ago, honestly, I said, this pitch is a disgrace. And I can't help thinking
he's just getting you back.
I can't help thinking he's definitely got me back.
Well, he's definitely got you anyway.
I apologise to the groundsman right now. Brilliant.
Right, we were.
What were we talking about?
Right, for
Bologna.
now though,
Bologna.
we're going to get back to Bologna then again. We've just seen the player arrival shots there coming in. Now, against Liverpool, Ian, they were very much on the front foot though from an early stage. Of course, they didn't get anything. They're yet to score a Champions League goal. They're debutants this season in the competition, as are Villa. But they did give Liverpool at least a bit of a game in the early stages before being beaten 2-0.
Yeah, and that's a few weeks ago when the strategy is going to be different because of the number of games people are playing. They're going to have a strategy according to which game it is.
Absolutely.
The longer the competition goes on, the strategy is going to change. Like us now, if we win this game tonight, 9 points, the strategy kind of changes a little bit for the latter games. So I'm expecting, like you say, I'm expecting them to be more pragmatic and, you know, look at us to break them down. But it's not going to be an easy game, I don't think so. But it's going to be a game of patience, I think.
And they've lost a couple of key men, though, in the summer. Joshua Zirkzee, Calafiori as well, to United and then Arsenal, respectively. They just seem to have lost a little bit of that sparkle, Alan.
A little bit. They have a Scotsman there as well.
They do.
Lewis Ferguson, Hamilton and Aberdeen, I think he played with, it was. And I mean, he's done okay. But yeah, they've lost a couple. I think Calafiori's a big miss for them. Zirkzee, well, you can see how he's done at Man United so far. With the opportunities he's had, with a bit luck for Man United, he'll get better. But I think what Ian said is spot on. I think patience is a big thing tonight, because they will still, I mean, listen, we're favourites to go into the game tonight. That carries its own target on your back. Him and I, playing at this football club, had a target on our back every time we played. You've got to play, you've got to win, and you've got to perform. We have to do that to try and make sure we keep them in the back foot. We don't give them any opportunity. But you're right, Kate. They had a little spell against Liverpool when you thought, oh, they're actually not. This team can play. So we have to be careful. But you also have to remember, as players, there'll be a spell in the game where you think, hang on a minute, did they bring on an extra man?
Yeah.
That just happens in games. And that's where we heard the manager talking about a discipline and a mentality and a resilience. That's a big word, that resilience, to remember in games that sometimes it can turn a little bit. You've got to be patient and wait for it to come back in our favour. That's when we try and put our foot forward and try and make sure we get goals in that time.
And there'll be a familiar face in the Bologna lineup as well, or potentially in the Bologna lineup, I should say. Samuel Illing Jr., who of course joined Villa from Juventus, but was quickly sent out on loan. Still a young player, though. It'd be great if he gets a start, which I didn't know if he was going to be eligible to be able to, but he is.
Why is it going to be great?
I know, you can just see the narrative written.
I don't want him to start at all. But it's a strange one, allowing him to play, to be fair.
I'm not having it, by the way. I'm not having it. I don't want him to play because I'll just be like the thing. 12-year-old scores against Villa, I mean, so whatever it is. But listen, it's an opportunity for him. You know, we put him out on loan. You know, I wish him all the very best, but just not tonight.
Because you know what it's like, Mackie. He'll have a point to prove.
Well, I'm kind of. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Like the more point. And to be fair, we were talking obviously genuinely about Bologna have got 1 point in the thing. When they were coming along the corridor when they get here, I'm just thinking, remember you and I turning up at an away game for a Champions League, you're like, be nice to turn them over or can I put the brakes on a bit here? Yeah. And that takes us in. We play, I'm saying we, Bologna play AC Milan at the weekend. Massive game. So they'll want to take something tonight into that. We need to make sure they go home with nothing.
Hopefully they will go home with nothing then, on the back of their draw against Genoa as well, where they were 2-0 up at that point. So confidence may not be at a strong point, Ian, for them.
Well, they'll want to stop leaking goals, won't they? First and foremost, they'll want to keep a clean sheet here tonight, which equals them being on the back foot and wanting to defend well. So, like we said earlier, it's going to be a game of patience. We're going to have a lot of the football, I think, but we have to be wary about them on the break. We do.
I'm smiling because I was thinking, when we looked at the fixtures at the very beginning, and I was like, oh, Bologna at home, I'll take that.
Take that.
Now we're off the back of 2 wins, I'm like, mate, be careful tonight.
Exactly.
And you're like,
exactly.
Funny how it changes.
I know.
Well, what are you talking about, Al? We need to have the mentality of, respect, 100%. You respect everybody when you play them. But if we don't create more chances than them tonight, I'll be naturally disappointed. But, you know, it's funny the way...
But you're right, though, because it creates complacency
of course
sometimes.
Yeah,
and you go into these games thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to turn these over tonight. We've just beaten Bayern.
Yeah,
this will be easy, and you can't fall into that. You have to treat every game the same.
A fine line between complacency and confidence as well. But of course, Aston Villa are coming here in rude health and on the back of a successful trip to the capital on Saturday.
Chasing against Torres. Mendes gets their first and shoots and scores. And Fulham. Drawn first blood. There's a deflection, there's the equaliser. Morgan Rogers will take it. So he signals a penalty. Martinez saved it. Oh, the curling header has gone in. Ollie Watkins just nudged away by Anderson. Turns and looks at the referee, and he's given the free kick. Now, what's he going to do here? It's a red card! He's looking at it now. Finds an early crossing. What a goal! Gone in!
What a goal. That's a great goal.
Might be an OG. Took a little touch there from Villaging. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow. Oh, David Villaging. It's a red card. 3 more points to move on to 17 points in the Premier League so far this season. Full-time score from Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 3.
Magic.
Yeah, it was a great day, wasn't it, on Saturday, that win over Fulham. Never an easy place to go to Craven Cottage, but to get 3 goals put past them after going down early was really likeable. I know that one of those was, of course, an own goal, but great to see Morgan Rogers on the score sheet.
Oh, do you know, yeah, because he's in my fantasy team.
More importantly.
But, you know, looking at things like fantasy teams and all that kind of stuff and stats, I'm not a stats person because Morgan Rogers has been one of our best players this season, but up until a few weeks ago he hadn't scored any goals and he hadn't had any assists, but he'd been one of our best players, which sort of rubbishes stats, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
But honestly, I think he's going to be a hell of a player. A hell of a player, and a bit of luck with the goal at the weekend, but he deserves it because he works hard. He's so strong on the ball, a good dribbler. And I think there's a lot more to come from him because he's a young player and there's plenty more to come.
Well, you know already what I think about him. And I had him by the lapels, saying to him, listen to me now, you have got it all, kid.
Yeah,
and by the way, he's about 6 feet 3. He was looking down on me, and then I was
honestly, I know it's a big thing to say, but he reminds me a little bit of Zidane.
Yeah,
the way he runs with the ball, the strength and the size of him.
Well, if you're thinking, if you're a midfield player and he goes past you and you're chasing him, you're like, this might be one tonight where he gets dragged down and they might pick up a few yellows, etc. Tonight, I'd be saying to him, if you get a chance to run anybody in the middle of that park, you take them on and you drive. Yeah. You drive right to whoever it is, John Duran, Ollie Watkins, whoever's playing up top. He's a fantastic player. Yeah. And by the way, if you don't shoot, you don't score. I'll take the little bit of luck, no problem.
That's what we were waiting for, was just that final little piece of the puzzle for Morgan Rogers to come together. That final ball, actually taking a shot on rather than being unselfish. But when it really clicks between him and Ollie Watkins, they're going to be an unbelievable force. And of course, Ollie Watkins on the score sheet as well. It doesn't feel that long ago that people were questioning his form at the start of the season, but he's right bang with it.
Oh yeah, it took him
Come here, you. Come here.
We're going to do a quick interview.
I'm going to introduce you to somebody.
They've gone rogue.
Oh, they've gone rogue.
Ali McCoy's joined us.
Come here, you.
How are you?
Listen, there's too many Scotsmen involved in this now.
Listen, just look at the TV. That there is Villa's win at the weekend against Villa.
Did you see the Fulham?
This is Alistair McCoist, everybody.
That was a great goal. I was watching it.
By the way, you were picking up Ollie Watkins. That's why he scored. What are you talking about?
I'm taking it now. It was a great header.
How are you, kid?
One you'd have been proud of yourself.
Listen, incidentally, this was my roommate together. He's
getting shouted at. He's getting shouted at.
Beat it.
TNT are requiring Ali, but thank you.
I'll phone you when I've got less time.
What am I supposed to do?
He said he'd rather come and work for us.
Sorry, everybody.
Let's go back. We've had Ali McCoy joining us. We've had everything going on.
Incidentally, the Ollie goal's a beauty. Because if you see starting position, that's obviously they've worked on that one to get to the near post and use it as to use the pace of the ball, and it was a super goal.
Well,
really was.
Tielemans' delivery all day.
He's been excellent as well, by the way.
He's been fantastic the last few games.
That's
really
who
good.
we actually want to touch upon now. So Tielemans, of course, he has been the engine of the midfield, really, hasn't he? But not just in terms of assists, which we're looking at first and foremost, but also, of course, the defensive side of him. But in terms of the assists that he's provided, he hasn't got the goal yet in the Premier League. But he started all 8 games and he has been able to provide those forward passes in really likeable style.
The biggest compliment you've just given him is, from Unai Emery's side of view as a manager, he started all 8 games. Now, when he came here, he had a little spell at the beginning and he was a bit missing at the end of the season.
He wasn't fit,
not missing, that was unfair. He wasn't fit.
Yeah,
he has been absolutely fantastic. And I think with the big man Onana in the middle of the park, I think that's helped him as well. He just sits, he's more of a director, but he's done the job absolutely brilliantly. And he's actually surprised me a little bit, Ian. I didn't think he had that kind of in him.
Well, I think when when our Brazilian friend left, I think everybody was a little bit worried about who would take his place.
Absolutely. Feels like we haven't missed him so far.
No, not at all. I think he's slotted in there brilliantly. He's got Onana there as his minder.
Yep.
More or less. Yeah. And I think they complement each other. They know each other's game from international duty. So I think they've just slotted in brilliantly for me.
There's another thing. Somebody was asking me about Unai Emery, and I don't know everything about Unai Emery. I've only said hello to the gaffer and the odd chat. But there is an undoubted fact about Aston Villa and Unai Emery for the last 2 years. He has made players better. Yeah. End of. And if you look at managers and you look at their history when they work with particular players, not every player, you know, some go on loan, some get sold, etc., etc. But the ones that have stayed and the ones he's brought in have become better players. And I know somebody at Everton who's surprised about Onana because he didn't think he would go and do that after 40, 50 million. He's been fantastic and he's become a better player under Unai Emery.
The amount of Everton fans that was saying about, well, the price tag you've got for Amadou Onana then, and he's not going to be worth that, he'll annoy you in certain parts when he's sulking and such. Like, we haven't seen any parts of it. It's been amazing.
He surprised me as well because I think Everton stifled his game.
Maybe.
Because
it wasn't to suit him.
I think he's a better player than what he showed at Everton, because now in a Villa shirt I'm thinking that's not the same player that I saw at Everton, because he's doing a lot more than what he was doing there, and he's a better footballer than I thought he would be as well.
And the other thing, big man, you know, sometimes every now and again you get to play with someone and you think, I just kind of, there's a mutual thing together. I don't know. I know he's going to go at the right. I know, and I can give him it here on his right, and he'll let it through him. You know, just little teeny things that the guys are still getting from each other. But just to go back, I know I kind of brought Onana in there specifically, but to talk about Youri Tielemans, he has absolutely been fantastic. And if the managers, if he pushes a starter every week, that's good enough for me, genuinely.
Well, you know what I love about Tielemans is that he's always positive with the ball, and he always looks to pass forward and through the lines, as they call it these days. But he's always positive and looks to make something happen. Yeah. And always looks to get on the ball.
So I guess in terms of Bologna then, and sort of attributing those characteristics to Bologna, you look at them, they've leaked 10 goals in 5 away games this season. They've conceded 2 or more in their 4 of their away games this season. And then in terms of struggling for goals as well, though, they really are. They have got just 9 in 10 fixtures in all competitions so far, but 10.6 XG. So when you look at a player like Tielemans, he almost seems ideal then in terms of the defence and the assists. But he can take advantage of Bologna's seemingly weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about these players like they're going to play tonight because we don't know yet.
Tielemans on the bench, Onana on the bench.
What a turn-up that would be, a waste of time.
I know, because I remember bigging up Onana, and then he got took off at half-time. We got to wait and see what the side's going to be, obviously. But these players we're talking about, you are right. He has made them better.
He's soaking it all in.
Again.
Champions League music.
It's different,
Can't beat it.
It really does.
Can't beat it.
Part of the real likeness then of the Champions League and what UEFA do as well is they always have a player joining the press conference alongside Unai Emery. And we heard from Matty Cash alongside Unai Emery yesterday.
Bologna, they are being successful the last years, of course. They are a team with a huge history in Italy. And last year they played fantastic with Thiago Motta, and they signed a new coach. He was successful with Fiorentina, playing the last 2 finals in Conference League. And now, when we are analyzing them, they are keeping the same, more or less, players, and they are keeping more or less the same successful way. Really, they are not now winning easy matches because they are drawing more. But always they are very tight in the result, and they deserve more points than they have now. And their style with the new coach is really playing very well, playing in combination, playing very well as well. Defensively, being aggressive. They played a fantastic match against Liverpool, fantastic match, and they deserve more against Liverpool. They faced them more or less being competing in the same way. And tomorrow, I think, for them, because they have only 1 point, is going to be a very difficult match for us because they are going to push, they are going to try to get a point tomorrow because, of course, it's the day 3, but they will need points as we will need. And we are really respecting them a lot. But of course, we are going to try tomorrow to play in the same motivation we played the last match, in the same excited moment we played without supporting in Villa Park, pushing a lot, and respecting them. I think is the first way we can do if we want to win.
Yeah, Skorupski actually commented on my Instagram post the other day, and he just said, "See you on Tuesday." So, he's a good friend of mine. He actually doesn't speak great English, but we somehow have a good connection, he is funny. He's a good guy. So it'd be nice to see him. But I think, they're a really good side. I think last season as well, they had an amazing season. Obviously, got into the Champions League. And then, obviously, they've had a draw and a loss, obviously, against Liverpool last. But we know that they're a quality team. Obviously, every team that we come up against in the Champions League are a good team. So we have to respect them. And, obviously, looking forward to the challenge. Yeah, I think it'll be loud, Obviously, the first one against Bayern was incredible. Obviously, I was sat on the bench and it was so loud. Couldn't even hear myself talk. But, I think every game this year in the Champions League at home is going to be an amazing atmosphere. Really looking forward to that. And obviously I haven't made my Champions League debut yet, so hopefully it comes tomorrow. Yeah, I think as a young boy, I think every boy's dream is to play at the highest level in football, and obviously I've worked incredibly hard to get here. Obviously had the spell in the World Cup, which was obviously a major tournament, which was amazing. Obviously Premier League debut 4 years ago now, and now it's obviously the Champions League. So. I'm just really looking forward to it. I've dreamed of these moments as a young boy, so hopefully it comes. I think the club's obviously, in the last 4 years since I've joined the club, it's gone through the roof. I think the quality in every single department's gone up. And the club's not got a ceiling, to be honest. I think it can go all the way to the top. Obviously now playing Champions League football, it's been a building block to get here. And the manager's been a big part of that to get us here. So, it's great to be here. In 4 years we've come a long way.
Yeah, great to hear from Unai and Matty Cash as well. And you can just hear it in their voices about the anticipation. It feels different than when it's for a Champions League game. But Unai, again, he's just keeping everyone level-headed, that it's always just about the game that they are being presented with. And he was really keen to reiterate that.
I say it all the time. Whenever the gaffer starts speaking about it, I'm like, he ain't going to say anything heavy about the Champions League. He's just going to dampen everything down and remind everybody it's like, domestic, we've got a big game on Saturday, even when the game's not finished yet. But hey, listen, he knows how important it is. He knows how important it is for momentum. And I feel for Matty, because Matty just said, I'm going to make my Champions League debut. And the gaffer just said to him, so sit on the bench. Yeah. Matthew, sit on the bench.
Yeah, we're going to reveal the team news in just a second. But before then, of course, reaction to that presser, though, Ian. And again, everything that Unai has been saying on the build-up to this. And I found it quite funny, actually. He was asked a few questions from the Italian press, as was Matty Cash as well, saying, have you watched Bologna? Have you watched the Bologna's game? I was just thinking to myself, do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah,
it's Unai Emery. And then also to his players, it's Unai Emery who's their manager. Of course they have.
They'd have watched loads and loads of footage of them. He's very meticulous in his build-up, we know that. But like you say, he's one of those, he's always thinking about the next game. As soon as the game's finished, shakes hands, he's in the dressing room and he's thinking about the next game from then. You can see that, and I can't say too many good things about our manager, because he's transformed this football club, really has.
He has massively so, in no time at all. And of course, we're not even up to the 2 years of his reign at the helm of Aston Villa, is it? So yeah, everything going forwards then. Now on team news, we do have that through. A fair few surprises for both teams in here as well. Now starting with Aston Villa, of course, Emi Martinez is in goal, but Konsa is going to be at right back. Diego Carlos and Pau Torres teaming up at centre back. Ian Maatsen comes in place of Luca Dean, Amadou Onana and the aforementioned Yuri Tielemans in midfield. John McGinn gets his start alongside Morgan Rogers, and Leon Bailey also makes a start, but John Duran up top, which is going to be fascinating to see in this one. So that is Aston Villa. And in terms of Bologna, we have Skorupski in goal. Lukayanis is at left back. Lukumi, Bukama and Posh also make up the defensive line. Urbanski, Frula and Fabian in the midfield, Ndoye, Deligna and Orsolini up top. So plenty of changes, lads. So just the start of Aston Villa, though. Alan, first and foremost, did you expect any of that? Some of it we did.
A little bit. I mean, I suppose he kind of intimated the boss, to be fair. That's why I was about, is he pretending he's going to change things and keep changing things the way they're... I mean, John Duran, to be fair to him, he deserves some kind of start. He really... I know Ollie's been unbelievable. He is the #1 striker. I don't care what MD says. But this is an opportunity tonight for him just to show, you know, Champions League football. He's starting from the beginning. Let's see what you've got. Lovely to see John back. That's really important for Aston Villa. John McGinn back in the thing. And Ezra back at right full back. So not too many... I mean... the only thing I said was there's no way that Morgan Rogers doesn't play tonight. The rest of it, I'm happy for the manager to tinker the way he has done. But even with the team, I'm expecting us to make more chances.
I remember, I can't remember which game it was, Ipswich maybe, when Morgan Rogers went off.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference when he wasn't playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we didn't have that number 10 and that guy that sat in the pockets and got the ball and turned to try and make things happen. You do miss him when he's not there. And I'm with you. I think he's probably the first name on the team sheet these days. But
the other thing for the two centre backs, or depending on how they play, I don't know if they'll play with 3. They'll probably play with a back 4. Is not to say anything that Ollie Watkins, an England international striker's not playing, but they'll have seen the goal that John Duran scored against Bayern.
They'll be fair.
They'll be like, hang on a minute, he's going to try and get behind us. So they might just drop that little bit deeper and just give the likes of John and Tielemans, etc., and Onana that little bit more space, because Duran wants to push them that way. Because as defenders, you don't want to push up too much and get caught in behind. So with a bit of luck, that'll make them double think as well.
The Duran name strikes fear.
Do you know, though, the days are gone where we make 4 changes or whatever it is, and have a totally different team and have that fear thinking, oh, you know, how are we going to get on tonight? Just as strong. With the changes that we've made.
Like say, the strength that we have on the bench as well.
Can't believe he's playing the goalie. He's rubbish.
Emi Martinez with the ball up. Who would have thought it?
What's the other one?
One of the other fantastic initiatives of the UEFA Champions League is the UEFA Youth League as well, where the under-19s of competing teams play against each other in a replication of who the main team are going to be playing. So Aston Villa took on Bologna earlier on at Bodymoor Heath.
Helped on by Jimo Aloba for Caden Young. Hangs on to the ball well. Jimo Aloba now hits it low and it's in! Aston Villa have the lead. Well done, Mason Lee Kocher. Lovely touch from the number 9, and that goal has been coming. They've been outstanding in this game, Aston Villa, creating chance after chance. Inevitably, Jimo Aloba involved with a low cross, and Mason Lee Kocher got the finest of touches. It was an effective one. Pulled across the face in front of the keeper. Back by Hemmings, but they've lost it. Ravaglioli, good footwork. They'll look to get the shot away here. Ravaglioli, will it be in? Yes, it will, and they're level. And it was bound to be the number 11 who caused the problems. And it's the skipper, Tommaso Abone, who got the touch from close range. That's tough on Villa. They've had all of the play here, but Ravaglioli has carried the biggest threat, and they gave the ball to him. His cross actually ricocheted off the on-rushing keeper, Sam Proctor. For Jimo Aloba. Kocher, good feet. Can he get the shot away? Kocher, still going. Unselfishly plays the ball to Broggio and it deflects in. They got some fortune there, did Aston Villa. It went in off the defender, Ali Jabeur. Might have been going wide, but that was quite superb from Kocher, the goal scorer. He was so selfless there, manoeuvred the ball in a tight situation. Broggio, who's been outstanding in domestic action and European action this year. Excellent playing surface. Training HQ prepared by the ground staff. It's actually a good day for football, this.
Yeah, it is. Condition quite mild.
Given some of the stormy weather we've had in the build-up. Laid off for Broggio. Patterson wants the pass. Broggio keeps it and slots it into the corner. That's a terrific finish. They have breathing space. Ben Broggio, exceptional in this second half. He'll definitely claim that one. His first goal went in with a big deflection. That's been given as an OG, but that time he set himself, controlled it perfectly and pinged it into the corner. No chance for Massimo Pessina.
Yes, a comprehensive win then, wasn't it, for the Youth League, for Aston Villa. Great to see wasn't it? The fact that they could put 3 goals past them, concede the 1, but it's a great initiative.
Oh, it's fantastic competition for the youngsters to be able to travel and play the same fixtures as the first team and go to all these different stadiums. It's a great experience for them.
Yeah, and it's going to serve them well. And we talk about the bigger picture all the time. Unai Emery talks about the bigger picture all the time. And with the academy, and these are the under-19s that are playing in this competition. But it just bodes well for the future.
I think it's just an opportunity for that kind of experience at that age to be a European football player. Well, not, you know what I mean, get the opportunity to go to places rather than just, obviously, we're playing at Bodymoor Heath or we're going to some of the England thing. I was over in Munich last week with Klaus Augenthaler, and he looks after the 17s, 18s and 19s, and even he was talking about their opportunity to play, etc. And of course they were over here just a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to take on our team. So it's a really good opportunity for the lads, to play against players they'll never play against normally, but get just that little flavour of European competition, that with a bit of luck, when they do become, 21, 22, 23, they've had at least a taste of it.
Now, we're about 45 minutes away from kickoff, but it's starting to fill up in here, Ian. Just how pivotal a role can the fans play yet again?
Oh, there's always a role for the fans, isn't there? We saw in the Bayern game the atmosphere that can be generated in this stadium. Not just from our fans, but the away fans have been brilliant as well. Yeah. The Bayern fans were fantastic on that night. Yeah. So, both sets of fans really give it some, but European nights down here, you just can't beat them.
They hit different, and you would know yourself. Talk to us about your time in Europe, memories of it. How was it?
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 occasions that were all right, but managed to score a couple of goals and stuff. But no, you said it. The exact words were, it hits different, and it is something different on European nights. I don't know what it is, but just to go out there under the lights at Villa Park, it's fantastic.
Alan, you concur with that European night?
I used to love arriving and training in the stadium the night before. I used to love that, just to give me this, and you put your head on the pillow, and your dreams are different, your thoughts are different, things are going to be different, but as a football player, you're like, I like this, get it on. This is
just travelling, getting on the plane, and all that kind of stuff.
This is exactly what I want, and I was, touch wood, European nights, can't beat it, cannot beat it.
Ian, what are you hoping to see tonight from Aston Villa? What are your predictions?
I think just to win. I think just to win. It doesn't even matter how we play for me. I think to get the win, get the 9 points would be fantastic at this stage. And then go into the weekend and concentrate on the Premier League. But obviously you want to go out there and give a good performance in front of your own fans, but not every game's like that. And you do get some sticky games, and you just have to grind through them. Hopefully we don't have to do that tonight, but sometimes you do have to do that, and I'd take a 1-0 right now.
Alan, what are your hopes?
I think we'll win 2-0. I think there'll be a goal in the first half, and then it'll be a late one as they try and equalise. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think you've got to give them as much respect as you can. But like Ian quite rightly says, I don't really care about the performance tonight. It's maybe the only time this season so far I'm looking for a little bit of a performance and a result. Here tonight, 9 points is so important for us, and if we can be on 9 points tomorrow morning, then everybody at Aston Villa will be absolutely delighted.
Happy days. Well, that is pretty much everything from us, so a big thank you to the pair of you for all of your work. You are getting the call up for co-coms.
I am, yes.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to hearing you. I was going to say, nicely warmed up. You've got about 45 minutes until kickoff then. We'll go and join Mark Regan for commentary. But that's everything from us here pitchside. A big thank you to all of you for watching, and enjoy the game.
Aston Villa in the Champions League at Villa Park.